Okay, are you okay, Nerea? Well, one more of the top-notch speakers that we have every year that we are used to in Empodera Live. I met Nerea last year because she got an award last year, so I fell in love with her and her hair. And she would like to talk today about the dissemination of science and technology. And she is the founder of TechFest, AI engineer and singular. So she's called Silo Macri in Twitter. So look out for them in Twitter. She's Silo Macri, and you can have a look at her bio. So as I said, she's the founder of TechFest, AI engineer and singular. So where you come from? Well, my name is Nerea Luis, and I finished my PhD last June about artificial intelligence in multi-agent contexts. It's about machines, and my history goes back to Villaverde, public high school, where I got in touch with technology for the first time, and it was special because I am a freak, I am a geek. I like manga and anime. Technology offered to me a whole world of new possibilities. It was like utopia. That's how I found my vocation. And we were talking about how important it is for children, for girls, to become scientists. And for me, it was a very natural process because I was in love with anime and manga. And I wanted to learn how to create a website so that I could tell my stories, so that I could write my stories, and how to retouch a picture, an image, so that I could make it more beautiful. And that's how I got in touch with the internet. It was a tool for me to tell my stories. But it was like a game for me. I never thought about working with that, about making it my profession. But since I really liked it, I thought, well, maybe I can work with that. I can learn something about that at university. So a couple of my teachers talked about the degree of IT engineering. So I enrolled in the Carlos III University to study a degree of engineering technology, IT technology, and especially calculation, so that you can, well, it's where you can teach a machine to how to behave, how to do things. And I said to myself, I need to learn that. So I really loved it, and out of curiosity, as someone mentioned earlier, well, I decided to do research because I was full of curiosity and I wanted to do something. I thought the sound was good. So I discovered the world of research thanks to my passion for the artificial intelligence, and that's how TechFest was born. She will explain what TechFest is. So I was finishing my degree, and I was also involved in the student trade union because that was at the beginning of the implementation of the Bologna plan. So there was a lot of, that was like a revolution. There was a lot of changes in the curricula, in the classes, everything. So at the same time, I was applying for scholarships because I wanted to become involved in some research group. And I was talking to a colleague of mine, and we were talking about how we didn't know what was going to happen after once we finished school, once we graduated, because we didn't know what was going on in the world of artificial intelligence. We were offered jobs in consultancy firms, but we didn't want to do any consultancy. So, yeah, it's like the devil. Consultancy is the devil. So I wanted to, it was like the opposite of what I wanted to do. So we talked about the managers of the degree, and we told them that we wanted to do a workshop or something like a pop-up workshop in the school, in the university, to try and see what happened with the students and maybe topics for research. And they said, well, you can do it, of course, but not in the aisles of the school. Well, let's do this in the cafeteria or in a room, in a classroom. So that was in 2012. We started it in February 2013. That was the first edition, and then it all went viral. Since we had many proposals from teachers and professors, we got a few sponsors. So we sent a call to the internet, a call for papers or a call for interventions, a call for speakers, and then it went viral. It was all free, but really the best thing about it was that we had created some MOOCs, the massive online courses. And Coursera was not even a thing back then. And we got in touch with Peter Nordic, the AI manager in Google, and we were celebrating the success of the first edition, and we decided to send an email to him and maybe organize a video conference. So we talked to them, and he replied. He didn't come to Leganés. We did this video conference. We sent him an email. Would you be interested in helping us? And he replied just with yes, I will. Period. So we got very nervous, and we thought, oh, this can have a real impact. And then we thought, oh, well, but if we can do this, we can do many more things and attract more people. And that's how we created the Tech Fest. So it's now a meeting point where universities, the academia, entrepreneurs and startups and innovators can meet up, even teachers. So we want to give a voice to all these collectivities, all these groups that sometimes feel like disembodied from technology. So can you explain what TechFest is? This is a free event that takes place in the Carlos III University in Madrid, in the Leganés campus. It is organized by groups of students, we split the students and all the participants in groups. We had 2,000 participants last year, or in the last edition, mainly from Spain, but some others from the United States. And we are, yes, we are geeks, but not just. I am a woman, and we don't want to use that word. We have to be very careful with words. But many people like technology, but unfortunately, not many people have technology at hand. So the idea is to have many technical talks, but we need to get closer to all those people who haven't had the chance to be involved in technology, but who at the same time want to do something with technology. So we approach those people, we put them in contact with the technology, and we want to use an inclusive language. So regardless of your training, your background, you can learn about technology for 2 full days. So we want to encourage people not to attend just the talks you are already knowledgeable about, but to try and explore talks about things you don't know nothing about. So TextFest is about what you want to learn about. So you need to get out of your comfort zone and how to learn things and then use those things in your things that you already do. So you got an award that was given to you by the King, Philip VI. Yes, the Order of the Civil Merit. It was in June. It took place in June. The ceremony took place in June. And yes, well, I don't know how they decided to give me that award. But I think I met the King like 1.5 years or 2 years ago on one of the GoTech Foundation events, foundation I work for. And well, I think the King had already listened to some of my talks, and they were very enthusiastic about the things we had organized, the talks about women and women entrepreneurs and women scientists, and I think that was it. So I was called by the chancellor of my university, and I thought, well, he's telling me off. I was sure he was going to tell me off, and instead he told me, well, the Royal House wants to give you an award. He wants to give you Civil Merit Order Award for my work in the field of visibility. Then she is also the ambassador of the Barbie doll. But that was before the Civil Merit Order Award. So you have received many awards. Yes, well, it's because many people said, but you're too utopian, you're too idealistic, you're not going to be able to do that with so little money. But then these things happen, and it helped me because it made me realize that my message was going through. It was really being conveyed. So it was really important for me. It was exactly the same thing. I was approached by an agency via Twitter, and they said that they had a project, and I really fitted in the project. And they said, well, it's a project for Barbie. Well, Barbie, the doll. Yes, for Barbie the doll. And they said that they were working on the visibilization of women, that Barbie was celebrating its 60th anniversary, so they wanted to do something about the Barbie doll and the new professions or scientists, and that was really thrilling. It was important for me because it was a new channel that can also be used for communicating, disseminating science. Well, do you come from a scientific family? Do you have other scientists in your family? Well, my parents are civil servants, and my uncle is an engineer, but he works in Bilbao. And I live in Madrid, so we don't get to see much of him. But maybe he was the person who really created the spark in me. But because he was the first person to show me what internet was about, and he showed me what Google was about, and he showed me the Google browser, and he said to me, what do you want me to look for? And he said, oh, Sailor Moon, of course. Well, if you were to talk to your future child or to a girl who was asking you for a piece of advice, what would you say if she wanted to become a scientist? Well, when I was 19, my experience as a scientist was limited. And it's because of the role model we've seen, for people that we see in the world. Everything what I was doing in the website and my geek things, I did it all in disguise. I hid when I did it. I didn't want my parents to know I was doing that. So if I was to talk to my future kid or to a girl who wanted to learn from me, I would say to her, do everything you want to. try explore fail experience, because sometimes we're just too cautious. So I would say to them, relax, wait, don't worry, explore, use it, try it, touch it, work. What are you most proud of? Or I would say TechFest, because it went viral, and I could have never imagined that an idea like that could really become a reality like the one we're seeing now. And it's really based on teamwork and giving a second opportunity to students that could have never got in touch with technology otherwise. So thanks to TechFest, we got volunteers who were students, and they used to be my students, and they said to me, you have really changed the way I perceive the technology sector and the way I perceive it now. And now I know that if I want to apply to work for Google and go abroad for work or do a startup, I know how to do it. Now I feel empowered to do it because you showed me the way. And I've also met people who have now joined companies such as Mozilla or other big names in the industry thanks to taking part in the TechFest. So that's really something to feel proud about. And also, I've been involved in a project for the Parliament, Science in the Parliament. It's called Science in the Parliament. It's organized by citizens, and where we go to the Parliament, to the Spanish Parliament, and we tell the members of Parliament how they should change things so that science becomes more a reality in Spain. Because in Spain we don't have any consultancy body to recommend actions or measures to the members of Parliament and what science in Spain needs. It was great because we went to the Parliament and we talked to the members of Parliament, we talked to real politicians, and it was very gratifying because we really put the message through. And we were like interpreters because we conveyed the message from the message that the scientists wanted to put through, and then we conveyed it to the members of Parliament, and then we discussed with them in a very constructive way. It was a really, really gratifying experience because it taught us that we can collaborate. The bridges can be built. There are, of course, many things we don't see about politicians, but there are politicians who work very hard and that are really willing to give you a helping hand. Well, Jorge's coming. I know I talk a lot. A problem you'd like to solve? Well, you said I could finish at 45. 13:45. Okay. You said 45. I think it's on tape. 45. I have recorded it. It's on tape. You said 45. Well, say one challenge that really concerns you, that you'd like to solve. Education and artificial technology. I think it is necessary to know more about it. I think the 5 coming years will be the key years. But Spain has a general problem. Everything is polarized. High-skilled jobs and low-skilled jobs are two ends of the same line, and we need to know how to collaborate if we are to prevent robots from taking up our jobs. We need to understand that robots are good and that we could collaborate together with them and make progress towards the future. That's something that really thrills me because it's a mix of dissemination and grassroots activism. So that will be your future project, I hope. Any role model, any reference that inspired you? Any man, woman that really inspired you? When I was doing my PhD, I met many important women, many female scientists. Manuela Veloso was really my idol. I met her. I worked with her for 6 months. She is really the person in robotics. She went to Carnegie Mellon in the United States, and she pursued their scientific career there. And she suffered all the male chauvinism, discrimination, but she fought them. She fought it, and she found her way and thrived. So she was really my reference. And then another one is Sue Black. I met her through Twitter. She also has a great story. She was a battered woman and was evicted, had 2 children, and someone then gave her the opportunity to enroll in a computer science course when she was unemployed, and that really changed her life. She understood that that was really a tool that she could use to help other women who were undergoing the same problem. She's now working for a UK university. I don't remember its name, and now she's founded a political party that is technology oriented, and they are really my idols, my leaders. And what would you like to learn in the coming years? I don't know everything that has to do with artificial intelligence. I would like to know what the future holds in store for us, and I know there are some speakers that will be talking about it later, and also policy making, high commissioners and everything they do, because it's something that will create a roadmap that we will be following. And since we are at the bottom of the society, we don't have the opportunity to shape that roadmap, but we could, and I feel that we need to do something about it, or at least understand how they are shaping it. Questions from the audience for Nerea?
Allá al fondo, y así también llegamos en tiempo, ¿no? Son y 43, ¿verdad?
It's still 43, so you have 2 minutes from the people in the audience. Fast questions, quick questions. You can also make questions via Twitter. Well, Nerea, I met you in Twitter and TechFest. And there's something you've talked about very briefly, the importance of the technological communities if we are to generate a positive social impact. Technological communities are essential. They were the spark. They are at the beginning of everything I've done, because they helped me understand, they helped me learn, they helped me disseminate. So we need those technological communities. Those are things that we want to encourage, and also we could use them to change what doesn't work. But of course, yes, we need to pay attention to the hostile fora, hostility against the other gender or the minorities. We need to pay attention to it, and of course erase that hostility. But yes, communities are the future. Big applause for Nerea.